Well, today is another bike collecting day. Well, I think, I don't know, it depends on the state of this bike. This one is slightly different. I don't suggest it's going to light the world up, because it's not a Ducati or a Moto Guzzi or a lovely old AJS. It's a learner bike. It's a very basic Honda CBR125r, which I need in order to pass my license. So I've got all these bikes. I've never had the time to get the license, but you know me now, I don't just buy things that run. I've got to fix them, but there's a limit to this one. This one isn't a restoration project as much as it is a let's get this thing MOT'd, let's see what's wrong with it, and let's get it on the road and get me confident enough in the roads here in the UK to ride my Ducati or the VFRs, which are a totally different story. So I'm going to take the battery out, charge that. Previous owner said this is a brand new battery. It's been sitting outside for just on 2 years, and it's still winter now, as you can see the way I'm dressed. It's just the process of how we get to pick up one of these bikes. What are the pitfalls of picking up 125ccc in the UK, where they are so sought after, so much more expensive than anything over 125, because that's the limit of learners' motorcycles. So your pizza deliveries, all your couriers, all the guys who don't have a license would purchase these. So these are very sought after, very expensive, and the Honda is no exception. So I'm very pleased that I've got this. We just have to see just how much work I have to do on it. Let's get on with it. Oh yeah. Okay, I just sprayed all those contacts. I must say it's looking untouched, which is nice. What you really look for is where somebody has put a different wire in, or bear in mind again, this is not a restoration. She's gonna go as is. So he's saying that this pump it's not pumping. Let's see if the battery's charged up enough, and we can test it. But yeah, it's cleaned up quite nicely now. Let's see. Let's check the battery. That'll do. Okay, let's try it. Seems to prime. Let's see if these lights work. Oh man. Oh yeah. That is amazing. That's incredible. Oh yes. Yep, definitely. Okay, that definitely kicked over. Okay, I've just taken out the the fuel pump, and you can see just what a sorry state it's in. I certainly found one problem, and that's these two here. So this would be the fuel gauge sensor. Okay, I want to show you what a tank looks like. You can see the line in there is where there was fuel, and where the fuel, the ethanol, draws in the moisture, and you end up with this mess. And what happens is this just gets into your fuel line. So this is going to have to be seriously washed out. Got some vinegar. I've left it overnight with the vinegar. Oh wow. Oh, that's very impressive. Oh yes, that's really good. This is the fuel pump that sits inside the tank. There should be tons of them around. I'll just pick something up. Well, not so easy. I'm surprised, etc. Just went on and on and on. So I thought, let me look at what I've got and see if I can't fix it. So the first thing I did was this pump here was definitely not working. There was no life in this. I put some cleaner in here and hit it several times around the body with a hammer just to loosen up whatever was inside it, because there was a lot of crud in the tank, if you remember seeing that. And it started to jerk. Then I'd reverse the current and then it would jump. Finally, it whizzed free and it's been brilliant. It's fine again. So I'd already ordered one from China. It wasn't too expensive, but I'm going to put this one back in again because I just want to try and prove the point that you can really fix these things if you're stuck for parts. Long short of it, this works, so that's going back in again. And then I discovered to my horror that the float, these wires here, had eroded off. That difference that the brushes make against the little circuit board will change the angle of the fuel gauge. It's really quite simple. It's a potentiometer, and it's the same as a volume knob on a guitar or something like that. And I soldered them in, and I'm not sure if you can see on the inside of that, in these little slots that are here, you can see little metal brushes. I think I've got my fuel gauge back again, and I've got my pump back again. So I'm fingers crossed. It's been a good day. Alright, we'll see if this primes. Yep, that is priming. If I lift the fuel gauge, brilliant. So fingers crossed. Carburetor's out. You want to look at the injector. Just give this a general clean anyway, and then we'll blow some air through the lines and see if we can get some life out of this bike. Right, this is how you check an injector. Where the fuel comes in, you tape up something like a brake cleaner. I'm using a 6 volt, that's fine. That'll open up just fine. Hear clicking, hear that? that opens the injector, and then you spray when you open it. Let's see if I can get it to get some fuel into the injector now. Let's prime it again. Put a bit of fuel into the carb. These were about £15 on Fleabay. You can see the original ones got a bit more stuff on them. Probably, obviously being Honda, it'll be a lot better. But then I don't know. These are sold as CBR125 mirrors. On these new ones, I'm going to cut the mirror out, and I'm going to try and fit them into here. This is going to be a mission. And you can see here I've ground the end just to try and get the shape, a similar shape to that. So careful not to break the glass and cut yourself. There we go. Oh. Right, I'm going to try and get this a little bit more uniform in the black. Feed it with something like GT85. So, a lot of good work done today. The front of this chassis bar is bent, so that was rebent so that the fairing would fit back in position. I managed to get some aftermarket covers, so we did a nice alignment on both sides and put the rubbers back in again. always good while you've got everything off. Bit of contact spray, particularly in these lights. Now we've got to get the carburetor working. Cool. Three, 4, 5. I've cleared the codes now, hopefully. So let's see what new codes exist. So the pump is working. So I've checked everything. I managed to run the motorcycle under pressure. I could not get enough pressure into the system. So I think this is our problem. It's a little bit like a thermostat. It opens when it heats up. This one opens when the pressure coming back from the injector forces fuel back through this way, which pushes the little spring in there. I don't know if you can just see that little spring in there, and lets fuel back into the tank. What I think happened here was this was jammed open, so it wasn't sealing properly. So what happens is your fuel pump works, pushes fuel down through to the injector, and then backs up against the injector, and then whatever excess pressure comes back through the pressure regulator and allows fuel back in again. If this was open, whatever excess fuel was coming to the injector, which has to put a bit of pressure on the back of the injector in order to go through, it was coming back through this. Still coming out. I'm not surprised. I've ordered a replacement before from China. It took a good few weeks to get here. That's looking good. However, when you turn it around, you'll notice that they've very conveniently put these holes in a different place. I'm going to have to flip this around to that. If I can, then I can use this one, because this one is definitely more powerful. But what I've done is I've been able to move this bit round. If I can successfully do this and run it, then I might have a fuel pump after all. Right, this is it. If this doesn't work, then I don't know what to fix. And air pressure. Get some pressure into the tank, and then we can see what's going on. There you go. Fingers crossed. Close. Try and get some idea. Okay, it looks like I've been a bit of a plonker. I didn't put a seal in there. That's definitely a pressure issue. Gonna go with this one. That's what we want. That very important little seal is in. Fingers crossed we should get it started. Let's see. this little motorcycle I think is a fine deal and gets me training for my license. So any of you out there find something where the fuel pump is giving trouble, please, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and you can get out and ride and get your license safely. So these little bikes are excellent training vehicles for that. So see you next time.